Can you smell it? That golden crust, the slow-simmered sauce, the creamy melted cheese. Pizza is more than food, it's memory. It's joy. It's home. Over 5 billion pizzas are eaten every year. That's nearly 160 pizzas every second. But behind that number lies an incredible process: machines, humans, recipes, and rhythm. So, how do we go from a ball of dough to a perfect, frozen pizza ready to be baked at home? Let's go behind the scenes. That smell, warm crust, rich tomato, melting cheesite, pulls you in before the first bite. Hard to believe, but pizza was once considered poor man's food sold on the streets of Naples, Italy, until one day, Queen Margherita took a bite, and history changed forever. Today, pizza has become a global icon, with the 9th of February celebrated as World Pizza Day. With over 5 billion pizzas enjoyed each year and more than 1,000 unique varieties, pizza has become much more than food. It's comfort, creativity, and pure flavor in every bite. Now, let's take a look behind the scenes at how hundreds of thousands of pizzas are created every day inside a modern factory. It all begins with the dough. A massive industrial mixer blends flour, yeast, water, salt, and a dash of olive oil, enough to make over 10,000 pizzas in one batch. Next, the dough is divided into equal portions each, weighing around 200–250 grams, then gently shaped into smooth balls by automated rollers. These are your classic round pizza crusts in the making. But not all pizzas start round. Some factories roll the dough into wide, continuous sheets stretching meters long. A roller with sharp pins pokes tiny holes across the dough. These vents prevent air bubbles and give the crust that flat, crispy texture we all crave. Then comes the fun part: cutting the shapes. Giant molds press down onto the dough sheet to cut out a variety of crust styles. Round, oval, or even fancy braided edge crusts that look like art. Now it's time to bake. The raw crusts head into a multi-deck conveyor oven, where they're baked at over 300 degrees Celsius, 572 degrees Fahrenheit, for a precise amount of time. Some factories bake more than 100 crusts per minute across multiple layers of the oven. After baking, each pizza crust is checked by hand. Experienced workers look for cracks, air bubbles, or uneven browning. The crust should be crisp yet tender, sturdy enough to hold toppings without sagging, while remaining light and airy inside for a satisfying bite. While the crust's cool, it's time to make the sauce. Most factories prepare their own secret blend of tomatoes, garlic, herbs, and spices. Then, the sauce is pumped into overhead machines that gently drizzle it in perfect spirals onto each base. No human hand touches it, yet the application is consistent, beautiful, and absolutely mouth-watering. Then, the pizza returns to the oven for a quick bake. This step helps the sauce bind to the base, letting its flavors soak gently into the warm crust. It's a short, intense heat, just enough to enhance the aroma and prepare the pizza for its next most delicious layers. Next comes the cheese-glorious, stretchy, golden cheese. Machines drop pre-measured amounts of shredded mozzarella, cheddar, or even smoked provolone onto each base. But in some factories, workers also hand-sprinkle cheese for specialty pizzas, ensuring the perfect melt every time. From here, the pizza base travels down a topping belt passing through multiple topping stations. One machine drops slices of pepperoni perfectly spaced. Another sprinkles grilled chicken, each cube aligned with machine precision. Further along, stations add mushrooms, olives, bell peppers, jalapenos, or even pineapple depending on the recipe. Each station is synchronized to the second. A single pizza might receive up to 8 toppings in under 30 seconds. Fun fact: some factories process over 100 metric tons of toppings per week. Before packing, there's a final test. The taste panel. Yes, real people eat random pizzas fresh off the line every hour to taste test flavor, texture, and aroma. If a batch fails, production halts. It's serious business. The pizzas are flash frozen to lock in freshness. Each pizza is sealed in airtight plastic, sometimes placed on a cardboard disc to prevent bending. Labels with ingredients, nutritional info, and expiry dates are printed and applied automatically. Finally, the pizzas are boxed, loaded into cartons, and stacked onto pallets ready for shipment. Pizza isn't just food, it's a global language of comfort. From bustling streets in New York to quiet cafes in Tokyo, pizza brings people together. More than 5 billion pizzas are enjoyed every year because no matter where you are, a warm slice feels like home.
Have you ever seen a pig tearing up a lawn like a bulldozer? Across 39 U.S. states, feral hogs are doing exactly that, ripping through fields, backyards, and even city parks. With numbers exploding from 2 million in 1990 to almost 9 million today, the problem is no longer rural. Let us know in the comments, have you ever spotted one in your area? Feral hogs are now one of the most destructive invasive species in the United States. In the wild, these animals travel in large groups called sounders, rooting through forests and farmland like living plows. With their strong snouts, they dig deep into the ground in search of food, destroying native plants, spreading erosion, and damaging ecosystems in the process. In the U.S. alone, feral hogs cause an estimated $2.5 billion in agricultural and environmental damage each year. But the destruction doesn't stop in rural areas. In some cities, feral hogs have been spotted roaming through neighborhoods, overturning trash bins, tearing up lawns, and even threatening pets. Their ability to adapt makes them a problem almost anywhere: farms, forests, and now even suburban streets. To prevent the feral hog population from spiraling further out of control, experts estimate that 60 to 70% of all hogs must be removed every single year. That's nearly 6 million hogs just to break even. Because trapping alone can't meet that number, hunting has become a vital control strategy. In states like Texas, Georgia, and Florida, licensed hunters often partner with farmers to help reduce hog populations. These hunts are regulated by state authorities to ensure safety and impact. Hunters use a wide variety of tools, from rifles and shotguns to thermal scopes and night vision drones that help track hogs after dark. In some areas, hunters even take to the skies in helicopters, chasing fast-moving sounders across open terrain. With billions in damages each year, every successful hunt helps protect farmland and native ecosystems. For farmers, one of the most reliable tools is the corral trap, a large circular enclosure designed to catch entire groups of feral hogs at once. These traps are often equipped with trail cameras and remote-controlled gates, allowing the operator to spring the trap at just the right time. Because hogs are strong and clever, the walls are built with solid steel panels. Anything weaker can easily be broken through by these surprisingly agile animals. Another effective method is the drop-gate cage trap. This is a tough metal box baited with strong-smelling foods like fermented corn or sweet potatoes. When a hog steps on the pressure plate inside, the gate slams shut, fast and efficient. To keep hogs from escaping, these traps must be at least 5 feet high. In some regions, wildlife teams and farmers also use net traps. Camouflaged along feeding trails or in tall grass, net traps are triggered by motion sensors or remote control. While less common than steel cages, nets are lightweight, reusable, and excellent for catching fast or cautious animals. Once feral hogs are trapped, farmers and wildlife teams quickly move in to harvest the animals. In some cases, they are captured alive for research, relocation, or farming, especially in areas where wild hog meat is in demand. But more often, the priority is rapid population control. That's why on-site euthanasia is the standard method. Hogs are usually shot inside the trap to prevent escape and minimize stress. In Texas alone, over 750,000 feral hogs are killed each year, and even that isn't enough to keep their numbers in check. Surprisingly, feral hog meat is considered a delicacy in many places. After harvesting, some rural communities even roast the meat on site. It's lean, protein-rich, and surprisingly flavorful. A single full-grown hog can weigh over 300 pounds, producing enough meat to feed an entire gathering, making the hunt not just a necessity, but a shared reward.
Wild, fast, and nearly impossible to tame. Sounds like a wild animal, right? But in China, these fierce creatures are raised on farms, without fences. Each wild boar eats up to 5 kilograms of food a day, can roam for miles, and remembers food spots for over a year. Smarter than some dogs. So how do they do it? Let's dive into China's untamed world of wild boar farming. The wild boar, the ancient ancestor of today's domestic pig, was first tamed nearly 9,000 years ago in the Middle East and China. Today, its descendants roam across Asia, Europe, North Africa, and even America. Known for their sharp memory, wild boars can remember paths and food sources as well as dogs or even chimpanzees. At first glance, wild boars might seem too fierce, too wild to raise. But in some parts of China, farmers have found a surprisingly natural and clever way to do just that. No crowded barns, no concrete pens. Many simply let the boars roam freely through nearby forests during the day, just like their ancestors did thousands of years ago. This method is known as semi-wild farming. The boars explore, dig, graze, and at sunset, they often return to their pens on their own. And the breeds? Farmers pick strong, healthy piglets, usually just a few months old and full of curiosity. These are special hybrids, part wild boar, part domestic pig. The mix keeps the rich, wild flavor of the meat while making the animals a bit easier to manage on the farm. When it comes to food, wild boars aren't picky, but they are well fed. One adult boar can eat up to 5 kilograms of food each day. That's like 50 apples. And their diet? Not just boring pig feed. They get fresh leaves, sweet potatoes, grains, even fruits. Thanks to their habit of digging through the soil for food, they help loosen the earth, trigger seed germination, and support the natural regeneration of the ecosystem. On some farms, their drinking water is infused with Chinese medicinal herbs, like astragalus or ginseng, to help boost immunity. Wild boars don't breed as easily as domestic pigs, but under the right conditions, one sow can give birth to 5 to 8 piglets per litter, sometimes even more. When wild boar piglets are born, they don't look anything like pigs. They have brown, yellow, and black stripes across their backs, just like tiny baby tigers. Those stripes help them blend in with leaves and grass, hiding from predators. After about 3 to 4 months, their fur darkens, and they start to look like their parents. Farmers also tag the piglets' ears to keep track, and, yep, the boys usually get castrated early on. It's for safety and tastier meat later. But don't be fooled. Even when raised on a farm, wild boars don't lose their wild side. They're smart, cautious, and very fast. Catching one when it's time to sell? That's a real battle. Some farmers even say it takes more skill to catch a wild boar than to raise one. But they keep doing it, not just for the profit, but for the pride. Because in these forests, raising wild boars isn't just farming. It's a tradition, a challenge, and, in a way, a dance between humans and nature. Now, let's explore the unique wild boar preparation process in China. First, the whole carcass is dipped into boiling water for a short time, just enough to loosen the coarse hair. Then comes the scraping, a careful, rhythmic task using knives or special tools to clean every inch of the thick hide. In many parts of China, roast wild boar is more than just a dish. It's a celebration. The process takes hours. The meat is slowly roasted over open flames, sometimes marinated with herbs and local spices. The result? A rich, smoky flavor and crispy skin that locals absolutely love, especially during festivals or family gatherings. But wild boar meat isn't just delicious, it's nutritious too. It's higher in protein, lower in fat, and richer in minerals like iron and zinc compared to regular pork. That's why many health-conscious eaters are turning to wild boar as a more natural source of meat. Beyond roasting, the meat is also stir-fried, stewed, or smoked in traditional dishes. Even the boar fat is treasured. And that's the story of China's wild boars. Fierce, smart, and surprisingly farmed. See you in the next wild adventure.